I fixed the motor mount on this guy. It should be quite rigid now. The motor mount, he was flying okay last time I flew him, but the motor mount had a little bit of play in it when I checked it after I flew him, and it turned out it was basically because I hadn't put the screws in right. It was supposed to have sort of 4 screws holding the front part and the back part of the motor bound together, but really only 2 of them were actually working. I put all 4 in, but I didn't put 2 of them in correctly, so they weren't really holding it together.
Throttle cut off. Throttle cut on.
So, you know, he flew and whatever, but now I've got the, ouch, walking into the table there. I might have to use a screwdriver to press the button. I've got the little EFC 721 camera on there, but I've taped it on in such a way that it's hard to get at the button. There we go, that's recording, isn't it? Yes. Well, you know, it's awkward to tape on, and I don't have Wi-Fi on this one, so I don't see which way it's pointing. The only way I can tell is to try and look down and see if it looks as if it's vaguely pointing in the right direction. And this tape is not holding all that well. I hope we got enough pieces of tape on there to hold him for the flight. Okay, and they don't come off. Okay. We hope. And unfortunately, every time I've landed him so far, I've turned him upside down, and that's not going to be too good for the camera. But I keep trying to land him without turning him upside down, but I struggle to do it, I'm afraid. He's, I don't know. I don't know why. I put bigger wheels on him than ever, I think. But I also put weight on his nose, admittedly, but he seems to need that weight on the nose to fly. I can take him off, famous last words, but so far I've been able to take him off fine. But landing him without tipping him over is another matter. I have not been able to do that yet, but we'll see. Having a mixed morning so far. The maiden, for me, the little micro Mustang, and that flew well, but then the Grand Cruiser dumped itself in the grass. I lost power. So that's never inspiring of confidence, but what can you do? Seems to tend to turn left on the ground, but that's just maybe the undercarriage is a little bit out of alignment or something. I'm not really I trimmed this guy yesterday, so I think he's trimmed pretty decently. We're not really trying to prove anything very much, really. I just thought I should bring him out again with, you know, with the new motor mount. Well, it's not new motor mount, but with the repaired motor mount, just to confirm. Now, I was thinking of doing what Don did, which is fastening the motor mount on with threaded rod going right through the front of the plane into the interior compartment and attaching the motor mount to a popsicle stick. That way, there's no way the motor mount's going to come off without ripping the whole front of the plane off. And I mean, in Don's case, because he's got like a 15 size motor, and I can see why he needs that, because his motor's a bit overpowered for the plane. It's a lot. This is not anywhere near such an overpowered motor. I think it should be able to hold, just held together with these screws screwing into the plastic, but we'll check to make sure it's not come loose. I don't want to lose that camera. I'm a little bit worried it's not all that well fastened on. Well, the advantage of that is I'm doing that close, so it's probably better, easier to see. I would normally do that a little bit further away, but I wanted to do it over the runway in case the camera fell off, because I figure if the camera falls off, I'd have a great deal more chance of, well, I might find it if it flew off over the runway, and if it landed on the runway, I probably would be able to find it. If it landed in that, whatever the heck that is over there, that long stuff, some sort of, almost it's hog feed or something planted in the field across the way. But anyway, if that camera flew off and landed in any of the long stuff, I don't think there'd be much chance of ever finding it. It would be gone. The drone view came off the the Grand Cruiser in the long stuff, but then when it crashed. But I mean, it was just lying next to it as a crash. I didn't lose it because it didn't come off in the air, it just came off when the thing hit the ground. And you'd sort of expect that because we went in pretty hard. And again. Okay, well anyway, we don't need to push this excessively. I mean, it would easily go, I've got the timer set, I set the timer to 8 minutes now, and it would go to 8 minutes, but I have no particular wish to fly it for 8 minutes. He's a little heavy now, I guess, maybe, because of the, well, he's got, he's got the 2200 battery in him, which is a much bigger battery than he originally had. See, I can't keep his nose up enough. I'm trying like heck to keep his nose up, but I just can't keep his... I just cannot keep his nose up enough on a landing to stop him nosing over. Yeah, I mean, what am I supposed to do? I mean, if I give him more power, he'll just go up. I was giving him full up elevator there on landing as we came down onto the ground. I had the elevator full up. Yeah, throttle cut on here. Yeah, well, hopefully the camera didn't suffer too much in that. It's a little wet, but... I mean, I don't know what else to do in terms of trying to make this guy land without tipping over. I'm bringing him down as gently as I can, with full elevator, up elevator. I just don't know. I really don't know what else I could do. So if I give him, I could fly him more into the ground with more power, but then I'd have to be flying him into the ground, so then he'd be even less nose up. And I don't think I could have brought him down. Well, I suppose I could push him closer to a stall, but then, if you're not careful, you will stall, which is not going to be helpful. I don't know. I'm a bit at a loss to know how to land this guy without tipping him over. But otherwise, not too bad. Now, where did I put that screwdriver? I'm trying to see if I can get in. Yeah, the camera's still recording, so we want to get in and press the button to stop the camera recording. Yes, which we succeeded in doing. It's the blue light flashes when it's recording. It's hard to tell. You won't be able to tell in the Mobius because of the frame rate of the Mobius. It looks as if it's flashing all the time, I think. But in fact, it's not flashing now. It was flashing to indicate it was taking video, and now it's not flashing. So far as I know, it works, and I just hope it didn't get too wet.